So, like, Mark, where are you going? Are you going just home? Is that why? Like, do you dress like this often?
What does that mean?
Like up?
I guess. I think so.
Is that your casual wear? Are you just always up?
That is my casual wear.
I need to catch up.
That don't fit the vibes?
Boots are casual?
No, it fits the vibes beautifully. That
don't fit the vibes. Gunshots right away.
I was just curious.
I don't know. I think that's I don't know.
Don't change that. I think that's a great thing. Great skill to have.
I've never seen Mark bummy.
That's what I'm saying.
What does that even mean, son?
Do you own sweatpants?
I do, yeah.
That aren't fashionable?
I have a whole sweat outfit for my brand. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wear.
I've seen that one before.
I don't consider that bummy though.
I don't know what's bummy.
Do you have a pair of pants?
What's bummy to a Haitian man?
Do you have a pair of pants? Oh God.
Oh my God. Do you own house clothes?
Haitian man stand, huh?
That's the one. Radive. Do you have a radive?
Yeah, I have a robe.
That's not what?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Haitian Millennial podcast. Oh my God. I know we've been pre-recording or
pre-potty
a lot of things in, but when the record button's on,
feels good, right?
It feels different. I hear you guys differently. It's like all the conversation you guys did, before this don't count. Somehow.
Wow.
I agree. He's right.
I feel like now you got to start over all the conversation you guys were having.
He's right.
Before we potted, we got to bring it back. From the top.
From the top. Okay. Right from the top.
Woo! Yeah, it's kind of hit me a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Let me not get into it too hard. Let me put up this music. This is Mesi by Harmonik, and I got to start like this for a reason. Y'all see why? Let's turn that up real quick. Yo, gunshots, just because the energy gotta be high. What did they tell
you about that?
The energy gotta be high. Hey, Gigi, what go cup live? What go cup live? From some they gonna cup too. Go from now. Anyway, I put from the break live. But what's good? It's Mark the Dreamer.
Hey, this is Gigi.
And it's your girl Leona, and you are listening to the Haitian Millennial Podcast.
Welcome to the Haitian Millennial Podcast. We haven't potted in so long, I forgot what episode number this is. Can somebody remind me, please? Y'all forgot too? Bueno.
That's how you know it's been a minute.
Nah, but we officially legal to drink. So that should tell you something.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all don't need a clue.
If we're legal to drink, that means we're gonna get into some trouble.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 21. Episode 21. We are here.
I made
More
so many
gunshots.
mistakes at 21.
Oh, is that where we're gonna start?
No.
Welcome, first time listeners. We appreciate you. I don't know how you found this, but we're glad you did. For those that's been rocking with us, that's been understanding with us.
Yes.
That's been, just staying there when, sometimes it feels like we're not there, but you're there, right? So we thank you for tapping in, pressing play, and listening to another episode. And we're officially able to have a prestige legally.
Well, we had one already though, but legally.
Yeah, legally. That's just how it goes.
And I don't like beer, so.
Vraiment bien.
And I don't drink.
So impossible pas qu'à bon biais.
So.
Hein?
No.
Avait dit impossible pas qu'à bon biais. Don't wait. I feel like that was just the right moment to just do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Gigi pas boire bien, man. Welcome Episode 21.
Poche mwen koule m'bagay waj m'bladate. Monte desan charge bagay m'fè. Gen kou apren m'bok kwa de bouquin. Laisse m'kwaze on denye ti piti. Bel ti bébé bel en forme sans critique. Chéri an a bwe pou m'tourne ti komik.
Hold on.
Bagay kob pou m'achton brick. Mwen se sou bras liye.
Lizou Bras.
Mwen se konsali.
I'm back on my DJ. You know what I'm saying?
La kampe pou machan. Fè jounen la ptan.
Mom says c'est sous. Hey, vai pratique ballon.
Ballon bien. Poubelle en forme ballon bien.
We're officially 21, but mon billet.
Ballon bien. Ballon bien. Même si
Episode 21, we can drink, baby. Hey,
ballon bien.
ballon.
J'en campé à ballon bien.
Hold on.
Ballon bien. Machan.
With the gunshot too.
Ballon bien. Poubelle en forme
Ballon, yeah.
This is Mark season.
Episode 21. Let's go. All right. We back.
Mark you must have had a litty 21st birthday.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. 21 was.
21 was 21.
21 was 20. You already know what time it is. But anyway, I'm Mark the Dreamer, and to my right,
It is Gigi the realist.
to my left,
It's your girl Leona. You already know. And I'm always gonna be here.
yes. All three representing
Absolutely.
the H, the M, and the P.
Ooh,
What
that was
it do?
nice. That was nice.
What up, though? Listen. I've been working on my penmanship, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. All right. We're back, guys. This was a break that wasn't planned, so we would just want to be out there and be upfront with you guys. I'm going to dire, avoye by, beaucoup de temps, business not booming, business not monté,
Hey.
ko ba marché,
Hey.
dollar tombe,
Hey.
tout ba ça, mais that's not the reason why.
Look at that. Look
Okay?
at that.
I'm so dead.
For those of you that don't know, I am no longer living in Florida. So this right here only happens when we can make it happen. And we try our best to get you guys the episodes, in a timely manner. We tried, but life happens.
Kudos to Mark, though. Big kudos to Mark.
I know.
Mark does amazing things. I think he has a teleportation device. I don't know.
Never that.
But he does amazing things.
You are officially, what is it called? Bi-City? What is that?
I don't know what it is. I'm
I can't-
everywhere.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I'm
Like,
everywhere, nowhere
at the same time.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But we appreciate you guys for always sticking with us. Now, for just to be clear, we have been working on the plan to be virtual to give you guys this pod on a consistent basis, but the actual foundation hasn't been placed. But we are here to set that up, so we're going to be doing that to give you guys more consistency. So after this pod, we're going to have a pod, but it may not be in person like now. So a little bit of not so good news, but always great news, because when we come together,
It's a vibe.
Sorry, I just had to, I needed a moment.
it's like, it's a sad moment.
It's like, I know we're going to still talk to each other, but it's just like,
It's not the same.
It's not the same, but okay.
I think we just really need to plan our Atlanta trip, Leona.
yeah, that has to definitely come into the
we
works.
definitely going to make that happen.
But I heard about how much the jet fuel for the planes cost,
Oh, now?
and then like that's also affecting like the ticket cost.
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I've been blessed to be traveling a lot lately. But the price is based on how I used to look at it. Like from Atlanta, everything to Orlando was like, dirt cheap. I could be like, let me get on that. Even if it was the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, but I was on there. But it was at a reasonable price. I think since Frontier and Spirit
Have merged.
Yeah, they did.
Since Misery Love Company came together, I felt like that is a pace in the price change. I don't know, including all of that. I feel like even though they were charging me for everything, the air,
They're charging me for everything.
What did
again.
they say? Yesterday's
the
price is not
Oh,
today's
yesterday's
price?
price is definitely not today's price. Yesterday's
gosh.
price definitely is not today's price. So before we get into the gas prices that are rising, can we ask how we doing? I know we haven't done a long extended how we doing in a long time, but I think it's only fitting this time around that we just do that.
Yeah.
Because it's been so long. So let's figure out how everybody's doing.
Do you want to start us off, Mark?
Please, I insist.
No,
Mark.
no. Somebody had a birthday and then invite me, so I think we should start with them. I just think we should start with them.
Monty at the beginning of the pod?
I'm not pointing no.
You're not pointing. I'm not pointing the elbows or nothing like that.
But we gon' yeah.
I think you know what? I think we should go that way. I think we should go birthday, Mark, me. I like that. I think Gigi, the floor is yours.
We could go that birthday in February. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, birthday girl.
We in March. You know,
last month was my birthday.
My phone is gunshot.
Oh my goodness, Mark. I have text messages. Don't do that.
You got receipts?
I got receipts.
Ou konen nan telefon mwen badjwen ni, so sou te vou el, zafet gado badjwen ni.
So here's how I know Mark is flawed. Not only did I text him, I texted his fiance in a group chat.
Ooh.
Mba kon sop di la. But anyway, nou al fon ti. Ti Alan Kav. Ki sal fè? Ki sal fè? Ki sal fè?
Ok.
Hey. Ki jan ou di an kreol?
Happy birthday.
Bon fête. Oh! Attends, mais tu ça dit?
No,
Gigi. Unpause music là.
No, Gigi. I know what you were trying to do.
That's what they say.
Unpause music là.
That's what they say.
Gigi.
Happy
birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, accent, just with accent.
You have to add the F.
Ou pas
It's
tu
Beth. Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Leonardo, ça c'est Beth vle di l'autre bagay.
Hey.
Si Gigi a pris Beth birthday, il va bon. Il va d'accord. Et l'évangile, petite bonzi, il va Beth. Happy birthday, nous fini. Nous va tourner dans musique.
Bon anniversaire. Yeah. But the accent is a lot.
What's up? What'd you do, Gigi? Tell us.
I mean, I always enjoy bringing my friends together on my birthday. And so I did it again this year. I did invite Mark. Mark went to work.
Téléphone dry.
Mark went to work. I have proof. We can even. Are you going to edit the screenshot?
Okay, it's not about me. Okay, it's not about me. It's about you, Gigi.
We have a
it's
cute
your special
boomerang,
birthday.
though.
Oh yeah. I heard a little birdie told me I was matching.
We matched.
Black women just look beautiful in, is it peach or orange rust?
Orange, that rusty
light
burnt
peach
color.
Color,
Yeah.
Well.
But my birthday was a vibe. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I did.
I was there. It was nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Tell us a little bit. What did you do?
So I went to the wine room for happy hour. I had dinner afterwards. Saturday I went and got a massage. Self-care. And then Sunday I did Sunday Fun Day. Maybe had too much fun.
Hey, listen. It's your birthday. Too much fun is never
Sounds
part
like
of the
a
vocabulary.
delightful weekend.
It was
right?
It was an amazing weekend. I feel super blessed.
Aww.
And so I mean I don't want to age myself, but I am an older-ish millennial. Younger than what is that?
Non n'avait say goûter.
Goûter qui ça?
Dans birthday c'est mbak là. N'avait say goûter.
I think men are always pettier than we are.
Petty.
Absolutely.
Petty.
N'avait say moi si ndeka ponti memo ça. Ba
bien.
Oh, ba. Nda bo bien ba.
Là.
E m'invite un konya. Ndeka boy, why invite him? Why problem?
It's okay. But yeah, I am younger than Mark, older than Leona. So I don't know. The listeners know our age.
I think that's a good way to do it though.
Li mouye mko. Il fait pas tant qu'on grand monde. Pas problème.
But it's been a little bit, Mark, since you've been mouillé though.
Pas problème. Et puis la fait la vidéo à tout.
Yes, it is. But no, as you get older, you guys, you definitely become more comfortable with who you are, your likes, your dislikes, the people you have in your life. Yeah. And I felt like this year's birthday really confirmed that I have great people in my circle, in my network, Mark included.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
But then I'm also really comfortable and just happy to do things that I enjoy by myself. And
I like that.
That's a beautiful place to be.
I'm
applause for that one. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm in a really good space. I have something to share.
Okay.
So I'm taking my first solo trip.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. Solo mio.
Yes.
Do you want to give us geographical, or you want to keep that?
I can share, but hopefully
no dates, girl. Don't give us the dates.
Yeah, no dates, and hopefully the listeners aren't stalkers.
Right.
I am going to Washington D.C.
Girl, you going to the D.C. area
for the first time.
Okay, girl. You know, I heard it's some.
I know. Okay.
It's somewhat.
I'm not for me.
It's
not for me. I'm just saying, but you gotta know what's there when you get there.
Yes.
Gotta
see what's out there.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, girl. I love that.
Yeah.
That is an accelerated high version of adulting. I think.
Mm-hmm. I've reached another level.
Yeah, you are operating in supreme adulthood.
Have you ever took a solo trip?
No. No, I have not.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah.
All the time, huh? It is what it is.
Not all the time. I took a solo trip one time. Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I was single at the time, so it was only fitting. I went to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
I knew she was gonna say
Wait
something.
a minute. How long was you in the PR a solo single?
Listen, I was only there for a week. Relax. Relax. What? It was I think there's power. This is not a topic, but we're gonna get into it. I think it's a lot of courage, right? One. And of course, a little bit of self-awareness too, because okay, I don't want to get deep or nothing, but I found out something about when you say you're bored. Like, I don't say the word bored, like I'm bored or whatever, only because I realized that you can enjoy your company. There's no such thing as being bored. If you feel like you not doing anything, you technically are enjoying yourself. There's not very
that's true.
Is that narcissistic?
I haven't experienced boredom in a long time, and that's not to say I just lead this very exciting life where there's constantly stuff happening. But I really do, like, when I'm by myself. I know I'm introverted, but there is something I find in like being able to just be to myself, think about things, explore things on my own pace. Yeah. So I don't really experience boredom.
Me neither. I think that's good. I think it's a great awareness, like you said, Marcus. Like, are you okay alone, and do you find fulfillment in that oneness? Because boredom strikes, and I feel like I felt it more in my younger years. Because did you really even know who you were, what you liked, what you wanted to know? You know what I'm saying? You don't know those things. So now I find joy. I could spend literally. I just got a charcuterie board, y'all.
How do you say that in Creole?
Oh, pas dit ça.
Okay.
It was the awkward silence. Everyone's like going on their mind. Like I don't know. What's a cutting board in Creole?
It's a French word.
Charcuterie is already French?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
So we're pronouncing it in the English way. So Mark, hit us with the French.
Je ne sais pas.
Don't put him on the spot like this.
Je parle français, mais je ne sais pas comment on dit. Charcuterie. Le charcuterie, je ne sais pas. Je sais pas comment on dit ça.
I just got one. And Gigi and I briefly, like Mark mentioned before we pod, we do chat, guys. This is not just mechanical when we hop on here, but I was so excited to show everybody my board and what I'm going to do with it and how I'm going to plan things to just use it. And I think that's part of like finding what you like and what fulfills you, even if it's small or big. Small like a charcuterie board, big like PR for a week, or Gigi's going on a solo trip. I think that you find your spectrum and you just live in it.
I don't know why PR for a week for a man just sounds...
Oh my
God. It sounds so...
It was fun, man. It was really fun. I got to... Okay, so here's my thought process behind it. At the time, I wasn't comfortable going to Haiti, right? Because of course, there's just certain things I didn't, my Haitian passport has expired, and at the time, I also wasn't a citizen yet. I was still a immigrant, but I had my green card. I just had to get a Haitian passport just for me to travel to Haiti in a way, because it wasn't just that easy, right? So I needed somewhere a little tropical. I didn't have an American passport, and everywhere else I would have to ask for a visa. It was just too much, and I needed somewhere to just get away, a little bit more islandy outside of Clearwater Beach. And I decided, okay, why not Puerto Rico? Plus the food. I was watching the food channel. It might sound really like very, surface. I was watching the food channel, and there was this place called Rice's, and they had this thing called a chuleta con, right? It was like a big pork chop thing with, you know, white rice and black beans and all this stuff. I was really attracted to how that food would taste. And I was like, you know what? I think the closest I would get to maybe island-ish right now with an ID is Puerto Rico. So I was like, you know what? Let's go. You know, it's not going to hurt. I had a car set up. I stayed like maybe an hour from the airport. I stayed in the country. I stayed in Luquillo, if anybody know where Puerto Rico is. So yeah.
How old were you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was maybe like 27, 28.
Okay.
Yeah, around
because
there.
if you said all that and you was 21, what am I?
Oh, nah.
I would have been like, wow, that's impressive.
That's very
I
impressive.
wish. Nah, it was really good. And plus, I was working at a place where I knew many Puerto Ricans, so I asked them a lot of questions.
Okay.
With the vibes, where to go, what to do. Yeah, and then when I happened to go down there, there's some friends that were already down there. I didn't know they were going to be down there, which is...
this is a very Mark-like thing.
It is. The serendipity of it all, always.
Yeah, like seriously, like I was down there and next thing you know, I saw in their story that they were down there. So they were like, yo, let's link up. And then it ended up being a vibe for a little bit. I think they kind of used me because I had a car. But it's neither here or there.
Opportunist.
But it happened.
At least you enjoyed yourself. I think that's a great story. Thank you for sending that motivation to Gigi. She will enjoy herself.
Yeah, you just got to understand that it's you and you're doing this because you enjoy it, not because you felt pressure, not because, you know, and plus you get to do what you want. If you decide to be in a hotel the whole day, watch Netflix, you can do that.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even going to go there.
There's a group trip. You can't do that. When you go on a group trip,
don't talk about group stuff. I have a question. Don't do that. I don't want to go there.
Okay, we're still trying to figure out how we're doing. 22 minutes in.
No. That's why I didn't want to. That's why I didn't want to do that.
We catching up.
Yeah.
No, we're catching up. But guys, we caught up before this. But there's always more catching up to do. But when you just talked about how a group, we love groups, fellowship, people, family. We love these people. So I saw a TikTok very briefly. I just want to know, just some quick answer. The people went out. Well, excuse me. What would you do if you went out with a group? The bill was $600
for dinner
for 6 people. Yes.
Okay.
Divided by 6 is $100 each. But what you ate was, let's say, $70. What are you doing?
Okay.
Did we share food?
No. Oh no.
We're gonna say you tried an appetizer.
Okay.
And you know, people at the tables, they offer you. Okay. So it's like, oh yeah, I'll try.
How old am I right now? Or
that's a good question. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say now because we're the Millennial Podcast. I'm gonna say now.
Now I'll pay for it, but never go out with dinner with them again.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I'll pay.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Same.
We're mature now.
Okay. So, but you guys, okay. So let's say you didn't try an appetizer. And you want to stand up for yourself.
I'm going to just go straight to the waiter or the waitress.
And pay for your pass.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to care if they feel some type of way?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Is that a conversation later on?
If someone feels some type of way, I will.
Then they can bring that to you.
They can bring that to me. But I feel like the assumption that we're going to split the bill evenly no matter what people ordered is like something that should be discussed in advance.
Okay.
So if it's not, or even like the vibes of just like, you know, we're on vacation, we're just going to split everything.
Yeah.
That has to be discussed in advance.
I agree with that.
I've been in situations like that where I have gone out with people, the bill comes, there's either one person that's like, oh, let's just put it all in one card, or who got us, or there's the other person that's like, let's just split it, and I just tap the,
and you're like,
this was mine, please put it on the check.
Yeah,
and I don't care.
Oh, Mark.
Okay. All right. Let's. I've never done this because I also had a conversation with my cousin recently that we were brought up differently as Haitians, right? Our cloth is a little different. We're cut from a different part of that overall world cloth, right? And certain things that we value, others do not in the same bracket. So, for example, let's hypothetically say that this group birthday, not the person that was celebrating or the person in charge was not Haitian, right?
Right.
And there happens to be Haitian people in there, but in their culture, it's like, it's my birthday. Everything is kind of like towards my decision. Whatever I decide is, you decided to accept my invite.
Right.
You're here.
Okay.
So based on that setting, you should prepare yourself for whatever I bring to that setting.
I've never thought of that.
In a way, if you're putting yourself in that birthday person, they're not necessarily thinking, oh, this person may not have it. This person may not have it. This person, whatever.
If I invite you and you accept the invitation, you accept the invitation, you should be ready for anything.
Be ready to be. Not saying that that's the
standard, but
I'm thinking that's how most people do it, because it's very common for that to happen, right? Because everybody thinks it's my birthday. I kind of, I've been put in that situation many times.
Let's take out the birthday piece, because I know that I can see how that.
Okay, just in general.
We're just out with friends, or whoever. We're just out. Whoever it is, you're out.
That's foul. No.
Okay, so my friends and I had that conversation too, and we're like, no, I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna bust it down to every penny, because it's like, your assumption for me and my finances is irresponsible. It's like, if this bill comes out to be $1,000 and I had one drink and an appetizer and my bill alone is $50, I'm not going to pay $130.
That's nuts.
Can I be ignorant for a little bit?
Absolutely.
So as far as there's that person that's literally say, I got it. I don't care who don't got it. I'm going to go eat at Eddie V's with everybody. And if you don't have the budget, you shouldn't come. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not in that, if you don't feel like you should be here eating a full meal, like I'm eating a full meal, don't pull up. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's just some people who are in that ignorant mindset.
Yeah.
Like,
but they feel like this. But they said that to themselves.
Yeah, because sometimes some people do stuff to stunt on everybody else. So sometimes, the person that couldn't pay the bill, that's a conversation later on with somebody else.
Right.
And that's messed up overall. But there's some ignorant people who do that. They know they can afford the bill for everybody on the table, but they want to let you know that they're at that level in their life.
Yeah, I do think there's a culture. It's a sad and there's thing. A socioeconomic status that dines the way you described, Leona.
And that's why I brought it up, because I know, again, like when you're just talking about the trip, and I know people like make comments about the living situation on trips, and can we do this excursion? Can we do this? And it just becomes a whole thing. And for me, it's like, okay, are we respecting the fact that people want to participate, or are we respecting the fact that people want to participate and completely disregarding their finances, or are we just saying you can't come, you can't sit with us? So does that make sense?
I went on a girls trip a couple years ago, and to avoid the separate check scenario, the person planning the trip asked us all to put money into her PayPal account, and then she paid for everything everywhere we go.
That's a good plan, but you have to be in a group full of financially responsible people.
It was a very financially responsible.
Absolutely, they have to be very mature.
Keep in mind that there is a culture of, okay, I'm traveling tomorrow, or I'm traveling next week. I'm gonna have that money next week.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna have there's a culture of that, and of course I think there's a stage in that too. I think like the after high school, college stage, like if you're getting paid and you're kind of like going paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Sometimes when that trip land here, the paycheck don't come till that Friday before that
trip. You leave it on Saturday,
right? So it's like it's either it came, and sometimes depending on where you're working at, if you working a little iffy, the direct deposit don't come.
Man,
you might be on that trip.
I feel like more people are in that situation and are still traveling.
Yeah.
Which is
all right. Quickly, we got to take a little pause to continue this conversation, but we'll be right back.
Si moi pas ici encore, j'y mette écran et puis tu m'expirer. Si ou pas vle faire un effort, mettez ma l'aise plutôt en vérité. Laisse ça dévancher, ou apparaître plus grand. Moi pas péri pour ça. Mwen pa fini pou sa. Sel bagay ki pral touye.
And just like that, we're back. We're back to talk about should you split the bill or not? When dining with friends. How did we get here?
Leona.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's crazy.
Okay. There was no perfect place to cut that song, but I had to do it because we got to get back to pod. So anyway, let's continue talking about that. You know, we're not gonna spend too much time, but let's continue finishing.
Yeah, just a little bit. I know Gigi was gonna say about the social, like how it's set up.
Oh, I mean, so I think as a person, as an adult, as a millennial, I think when you're being invited out, you do have to gauge the vibes. Because there's certain people, like, okay, if I went out to eat with y'all and we weren't sharing food with each other, I know this would not even come up.
Exactly.
Right? I know this would not even be a thing. There are certain people, though, that I know if I go out with, they're going to just go, let's just split it. And I have to just be mentally prepared and financially prepared for that type of outing.
When is it acceptable to split though? Is there any time it's acceptable? Like, what's the number? Like the group number that it should be where it's like, let's split. Like how many people?
That's tough.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I mean, the largest group that I would feel comfortable splitting with is my close tribe of, like, you know, everyone has like their tribe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that number of like my like day one people that I grew up with over the course of 10 plus years, I'm gonna say, if I'm counting right, and I might be wrong, but 8.
8, okay.
I'm gonna say those 8 people, whatever it was, however we decided to splurge that day, I'm gonna have to, like, we're doing this, you know? So I'm gonna say 8 because those are the people that I feel most comfortable doing that with.
Do you guys think the one person gets the bill and then you Cash App or Zelle the person is maybe the way to go?
I think that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's dangerous because you could be like, oh, my Zelle.
Oh, do you take Cash App? Do you, and it just becomes.
So are we just? Do we have people in our lives that I feel like that's scammy?
That's scammy.
I don't have those folks in my life.
That's scammy, but that's also like, oh my God, I don't want to, let's not get too
No, we're
deep
going to
in
have to
that
pivot
one.
soon,
But
right?
Conversation about money, about your financial status is not, I don't want to say normalized, but it's coming out of me. We don't normalize that conversation enough. Where if I don't have it and we say Zelle, that might be my like current escape right now. Like I feel like, okay, I can Zelle you eventually.
Should not have came.
Listen. I know. It's a tough situation because it's not like when you deny. For example, okay, let's get a little deeper into friendship dynamics, right?
Okay.
So if we're not that close of of friends, right? And you invite me out, and I know I may not got. If the restaurant you invite the meals, I'm looking at the lowest.
The menu,
right?
you're looking at the menu.
The appetizer.
You're looking at the kids' meals.
Like, I might just have to end up ordering, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Based on because you probably invited me a week ago. The money might come based on, situations, whatever. But then I say yes because I know possibly it may, and possibly may not. And then at the time, it probably didn't, but I'm ashamed a little bit, based on that friendship dynamic. If I don't show up because I know I'm broke, I already know you're assuming I'm broke if I don't come, right? Because that's not what you're assuming, but because I'm broke, and that reflects what you think of me based on my situation.
You're projecting?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's usually what happens because we're not comfortable having that conversation. So we automatically assume if I say no, they're gonna think I'm broke because I'm already broke, right? I mean, it's just one of those things. But if you weren't, it'd be easier to just say no because then you won't have that conception that they're going to think you're broke. You really can't make it. You know what makes sense?
I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that projection, I see what you're saying.
But it's also like not a, it's a friendship thing. If I was your friend and you know, if we're really cool, I'd be like, nah, I don't got it.
Exactly.
But if you're like, if we're not that cool and you probably see me in a certain setting, you think I got it, right? Then you automatically invite me because you're like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm inviting you. Even though that's not in my plans, but I'm inviting you.
Right.
And now you inserted them in your plans and they don't feel like if they cancel, you're going to have that notion of them when they already gave you that picture of who they are. And so it's a lot of self.
I mean,
you gotta get back to you to understand that you can say no without people thinking that you're blah 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 blah. But when you get in that situation, back to the original point, when you're in that situation and you feel like you can't sell the person, like you said, it could be scamming. But to them, it's like almost like a way to get more time to pay. It's like, I'm gonna sell you. I don't have it currently, but I'm going to tell you, yeah, I got you. I'm going to sell it to you. And then when it gets to the house, and it's like, okay.
You got me, you're going to sell me, but I also don't like asking people for money. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I don't like asking people for money.
But we not going to go there. But I'm just saying, we're 21 now, guys. These are the conversations you have to have.
We have to have those conversations. But we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot. Because I think this could be a whole topic in a way to understand friendship dynamics and finances.
I think we should invite our listeners to speak into this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I was just telling Leona, like, this topic comes up a lot, especially amongst our age group, and just the way we do dining and going out and getting drinks or whatever. Like, it is a thing.
Yeah. Let's just start. Pause real quick. We just got a live. What up to the pod? What up to the pod right now? From Big Bro Bio in the session. You know what I'm saying? Let's give him some.
Thank you.
Let's give him some gunshots because he loves those. He loves gunshots. Bio loves gunshots.
That's all. That's such a
Now, so he's saying hey to Gigi and hey to Leona.
Oh, hey.
What up, Bio? What up? But speaking of live pod, we actually have a live pod number. So this is the perfect place to drop that in.
What a pivot.
Yeah. So let me make sure. Okay.
Are you gonna do the number in Creole and French?
What?
This is top tier.
Well, this is breaking news. This is where I put the sound in the back.
Right.
H&P has officially received a number where callers can come in and literally tell them how they feel. Literally send in topics. Literally just say whatever.
Now we like the radio.
Yes, and we can literally be, we can literally do this in real time. We can have a song playing in the background.
Don't forget to pause in between every time you're talking. You gotta.
Hold on. HMP. Non, ça c'est HMP. Nous entrons dans le game là. Attendez. Nous avons un numéro. Numéro ça au carré de n'importe là. I'm joking. Wap texting about le. Hey, listen, this number is just for y'all. We want to make sure we put this out because we want more of your interaction.
Yeah.
We want HMP to be all inclusive. You ready? Did you ready for the number? La parle en créole ou bien en anglais? Encore moi en créole. Allez. Donne-moi. 305 306 15 78. N'a pas parlé encore. Donne-moi. Nous allons parler encore. Nous allons parler numéro encore. Donne-moi. 305 306 15 78. Oh!
Belle bagaille.
Okay. Gigi, you want to parler en anglais?
Yeah. The first one? Or both? Second one. Okay. 305 306 1578.
One more time for the people.
305 306 1578.
Woo! Now you ask why we chose 305. Why did we choose 305?
Y'all can never do it.
Who can say the one 305?
Because y'all can write. Because and it's gonna pop scan likely.
Not further. We really want to make this a very inclusive podcast for everybody. Oh, tamo. It's not like débosé, tamo.
Ben mami, you know the drill. I pay the bills. I'm too sad down here. Yes.
Okay, you gotta go to the left.
I'm too right.
Right.
Kabi.
Hey.
Like Fafle.
Hey. All right. Seriously, y'all. We are here to make this inclusive. This is our number. You can text this, send voice note to this. We're gonna be all in charge of this. We are gonna have access to this number. So unlike our DM on IG that nobody ever responds to, this number will respond.
He's so right.
We want to apologize though for those people in our DM. It's always a timely thing. You know, I try to, we try to respond to them.
That was my job.
Yeah. So there's somebody right now who, never mind. We're gonna get to it. Okay. We're gonna get more efficient into answering and making sure that this is a very inclusive pod. Anyway, so this is the number you guys could text. Actually, if you're listening right now, just to make sure it works and make sure we can hear from you guys, so just text it.
Voie un message.
Just voie un message. N'importe ça, vous voulez pas voyer, just voyer là, ok? Voyer direct sur HMP, ok? Just pas dire mauvais bagage. Sinon,
Please, we do want to send
Block and delete.
sinon je veux non mauvais message. N'a bien bon.
Like, have discretion, you know.
And then, pas oublier, non, ça c'est pas DM Gigi. Pas bien envoyer message pour Gigi directement. Et puis, vous connaissez DM Léonard. Les femmes de checker, ils close toujours. Léonard, est-ce que DM still close? Ok, DM still close. So, même si vous avez voulu envoyer pour Léonard, mais ça doit pas capable. Parce que directement, là, on voit comme c'est taper Léonard, pop! Et la juste couper signal et vous tout bloquer. Et comme ça, bah, vous faites boy ici, en grand monde. You gotta start doing it. We gotta start getting people in the Haitian slang, you know? En grand monde, en bourrique.
We did. What do you mean Gigi did the birthday?
Blow blow.
We did the birthday. What's the problem?
Blow blow. No, you know the new slang.
No, the new-
Oh, okay.
No, en grand monde. Cause ça n'a rentré sous yo. En grand monde, okay?
Absolutely.
But yeah, okay. So we're supposed to go to how I'm doing. I want to do it really quickly.
Yes.
Oh gosh, is that where we were?
Yeah. I'm doing good, y'all.
It was a pivot.
Yeah, I started the podcast with Mesi by Harmonik because I'm probably the most grateful person in this earth currently. Wow. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to sound like that I'm the most grateful person in this earth, but I am very grateful. I'm grateful to be here, grateful to be next to you guys, grateful to pod again, grateful to speak again, grateful to breathe again, grateful for all of it.
See some music Levangie right now.
Right. We should. But right now I can't think of actually, this is one of my favorite songs for when I grew up. I don't know if I could. Do I have it here?
You think so?
I mean,
do you think that Apple Music has curated your faves yet?
No, it's probably in my thing. Ooh, I think I got it. Okay, let's put that in the background as I probably speak. It's my favorite Haitian band. And then so okay, it's a little slow, but it's okay. So this is probably breaking news. I haven't shared it with anybody besides the people in my circle. Okay, so on a great Sunday morning, it was raining. I'm just kidding. But this is in the background. But I happen to be going to a church gig, right? Got a church gig. A little round of applause for this. Yeah, I'm a camera operator for a church in Atlanta. So I be, going there and making sure I get the right angle for the live stream. All of that. Mm-hmm. So I was on my way there on a Sunday morning and it was raining really bad. And I happened to be on the far lane of the highway. And because of the rain, I guess it was a puddle. And I guess the car hydroplaned and did a spin, and the car ended up hitting the wall on the highway. And unlucky for me, it was on the driver's side, so my body kind of went up and hit that side of the car. Airbags deployed from that side of the car, but when I wasn't unconscious or anything, but when it hit, it was like almost like a hit. I felt it and heard it, and you know, smoke and stuff, everything. The car was like in shambles, right? And I almost felt like I wasn't there. It's one of those things, like, felt like you wasn't really there. But when I started to smell everything, I started to realize, I'm here. I'm still here. I went through this process, but I'm here. So second thought was, get out the car, smell smoke. Don't know what's gonna happen.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, boom, let me get out the car. And as I'm getting out the car, I'm just trying to figure out, traffic is still moving. And I look on the street, my front bumper, my whole like front of the car is in the highway. I don't know how, because if I hydroplane, right, spun out and hit the wall, how did my bumper
come off?
Yeah. So and just looking at it and kind of maybe put a picture together, I felt like when it hit the wall, the bumper must have got hit on the wall too, and then it just flew off to the highway. That's the only way I could think. And then it started to, I thought I was gonna cause another accident because a lot of people were stopping, things were going off, people were stopping like, "Oh, you okay?" You know, stuff like that. I didn't know if I was okay at the time. But I was just really grateful that I walked out of that and I looked at the car, right? It felt so like, I don't know. I'm not trying to go into that. I just let the song, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Hey. Not really. I'm very thankful that I get to, because you know, after the accident, I went to the church. Yeah, so I literally got my car towed because the car is not functionable, but I was. And I say, the only thing, like, if this was to happen, right, on the way to this gig, right, and this happened and I happen to still be here, I feel like I still have a purpose to still fulfill. So I was like, I could have been gone, I could have been out of there, but in that same sentiment, I was like, you know what? Let me call a tow truck, call my fiance, of course, she came. Tow truck took forever, but they came, got it to the house. I was all wet because it was raining and cold. But I literally got there to the house, changed my clothes, got into dry clothes, asked my fiance, is it okay for me to drive your car? Because, you know, it's always like,
right,
you know, like, I don't know, because you kind of just got into an accident.
Yeah.
Do you really want to get back onto the road?
Right.
And also the same way that I got into the accident, the same way I'm taking again to go
to the church.
To the church. So it was kind of like mind-boggling, but everything in my me was telling me, hey, hold on. Okay. So what happened was, I felt like I needed to hear a word. No lie. Like I was like, if this happened and I'm still alive, I need to know the reason. Like, it sounds so crazy. I was like, I need to know the reason. Hold on. Okay. I needed to know the reason. Maybe I need a word that's gonna come from this service that I'm actually gonna go help at. Yeah. So I decided to just go to the church, and actually I heard a great word. It was like, it felt like it was all worth it. That I got to go to the church and got to hear that, and then went back home to process what happened. Yeah. So it was eye-opening, one, and not to get too deep, because I don't like to get deep in this pod, because I go to somewhere that I don't like to go to, right now. Maybe on Patreon we'll go deep, but here we're going to keep it surface a little bit. But I had trying to figure out how to, so this is my second horrible accident. First time I had lost teeth and a lot of things happened. But anyway, second horrible accident. And it starts to feel like every time I get into one of these horrible accidents, it's like a shift into my mindset on how I think and process things. Because sometimes it's sad, it sounds sad, but I need something very extreme to get me out of a thinking process. So remember the last part when I was saying, like, I have a problem or issue saying no? So I kind of found myself in a situation where like a lot of success been coming to realm, right? And based on that success, I've gained a lot of exposure. I've always been very private on what I do for work, but lately it's been a little bit public because I feel like there's a calling for me to go public to help more people based on what I do. But because of that, a lot more work has been coming, and I've been having a horrible time saying no, which is my whole thing about this whole process. But to be honest, after this accident, I don't want to say it's easier, but I realized if I died in that car accident, right? Just put it into like this weird perspective, not to be morbid or nothing. But if I did pass away in that accident, I don't think I would have fulfilled the stuff that I put in place to do. And I think I would have done myself a disservice if I would have passed away then. And it's all in God's plan. So if I would have passed away, that would have been his plan. Was his plan. But based on this, I just feel like I need to be more intentional about what I do to enjoy life, to enjoy the time that I have here, and to also walk in my purpose and doing the things that I was called to do. Because the no's is what's helping me directly do what I need to do, because everything else could be a distraction. Somebody might come up to me and say, hey, I need you to do this for me, but I got to understand, is it in line with what I want to do long term? So that allows me to say no and just be like, no, I'm not doing it. And a no is not like, oh, nah, like I don't want to work with you. A no is like, no, this doesn't fall in my current path. Right. So a no is another chance for that person to ask you something, to find the better person that fit their work. So that's what I realized too. Like if I say yes to you, although I can do it, but if I say yes to you, that means the person I'm supposed to say yes to is going to get a no from me because I picked up this current thing that is not really in line with what I'm doing. So it's like, it's a whole domino effect. So it sounds bad, but after the accident, I realized that I got to start doing what I actually want and am called to do, and just go to that. And it's just so real. It felt like a big weight lifted off my shoulders. It's like, like, no.
That's good. That's good. And we're thankful for you in so many ways. Of course, coming out of that healthy new mindset, just better headspace. I know that those things can be scary, and we can lean into it being scary. It's okay to say like, wow, this happened. I was afraid. It was like, I was hurt. I was sad, whatever. But, honoring your feelings and not rushing yourself through that process either. Like, I'm a big advocate for like, if you feel something and if it's right, like, and I mean like it's justified, you don't rush yourself through that process. And I'm glad that you're not rushing yourself through that process, and you're taking time to receive through that process as well, and understand what happened. Although we all might not fully understand what happens to us, just understanding that, hey, I'm going to take the time to figure out what in this is good for me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's amazing and very mature of you as well.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, and I appreciate you guys, of course, for reaching out, for, texting, all of that. And of course, I'll let you guys know, like, hey, this is what happened. And I hate to be that person to throw like bad news at people, but it's just the time I was going through. I just kind of like,
of course, no. I think it's something I noticed in my process of like going to therapy and working on myself. Was one thing that was pointed out was like, you seem to have people in your life. Why don't you allow them to care for you the way they care for you? Like, why are you holding off and not sharing things? And I was like, I don't want to bother no one. I don't want to seem burdensome. Other people got stuff going on. But it's like, can you really say you're doing relationship with someone if you don't share when things are not going well, or when you're having a hard time? True that. And so for you to share that, I know that was very vulnerable and obviously a very painful time, but it goes to testament that we're friends, we got a bond, and we're here for each other.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
To piggyback off of Gigi's point, you learn a lot by how people show up or don't show up for you. And I think that when you are mature enough to understand that people can make whatever decisions they want, that helps you live your life in a way that's, of course, honoring to God, but a life where, like Mark mentioned, it's not a weight on you carrying someone else's level of decisions. If this person, after something happens to you, checks on you, great. If they don't, your life is still going to persist. It's like you just have to find the happy medium of understanding that there isn't any issue with this person not checking on me. It's just life. And I have to continue to move forward with those people who are walking with me and choosing to walk with me in life and not dwell on those who may not, because that's the reality of the situation. But those people who want to be there for you, big or small, let them.
Yep.
Take a little break, man. We'll be right back. HMP. Hey.
You don't like my
I like that. I like him.
I've
been doing this.
21, épisode 21, nous aqui ça. En grand monde. Não, mais antes encore, deixa eu faire encore. Non, vamos faire encore. Épisode 21, nous débarquer.
Right on time.
Hold on, you know who this is? HMP. Hey.
We do.
Well, now we have three.
Harmonik, boy, check pour nous.
We have three.
What?
Squall, you, and your brother.
Oh, no,
yeah.
Shout out to the Notepad. Shout out to the Notepad. Shout out to Squad.
Yeah.
Shout out to us. Maybe we should do a whole mix together.
DJ
What it do? All trio of us. All trio of
I
us.
think that'll be a nice vibe.
I do.
I just hosted. Oh, I got some news to share with y'all, but I can share it on the pod. Oh, sorry, pod listeners. Oh, damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
But I got some great news.
Yeah, just
I swear to God.
You know how long it's been sat. Ooh.
Nah, for I got some news. So, but it's let's go to Leona, man. We you know what I'm saying? Like God is great. God is good. God is all of that, and God is always gonna be all that. But let's pivot right quick on VA machine.
Right.
Leona,
Hi,
how you
everyone. I know I got the shortest end of the stick, dog. You know, they tried me. They really tried me, though. But that's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad, because you know why? I'm doing swimmingly. I am literally doing very well. I had a conversation recently with a friend of mine where they, that question of like, well, like life, like how do you feel about life? And I expressed that this year, and I know it just started, but this year is kind of one of those years that's like, wow, I get to decide what I do with my time. Yeah. And I haven't had that in a long time. And I think that's pretty pivotal in my adulthood and my journey and stuff, because I've always been dedicated to so many things, so many people, just so much has dictated what my time goes to, that I literally have the control of, like, of course God has the control, but I have the decision making of, I want to add this and I want to take my time to do this and things like that. And that's rare. We really overlook that sometimes with work, friends, family, but I'm happy about that. And that is my biggest thing right now that I'm celebrating for myself. Like, I just love that for me.
Aww.
We love that for you too. Another round of applause. It's popping.
But in the realm of that adulting, rent is up. Gas is up.
It's up. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Grocery shopping
is up.
Inflation
is what? It's up.
They're doing it. They're doing it to us.
Yeah,
it's like they had the I saw that a few people said that, like they had the stimulus package, like now they're reeling it back.
Ooh, that's like, good.
They send that, and then they're just reeling everything back, man. It's just like, and it's not. I don't know how to feel as a millennial right now. And this is kind of like, this is our time to feel what the world had in store for this time, right? This time of that we live in of 2022 and onward, like it feels like our generation is now feeling what the future may look like, or what are some pivotal things that needs to be done right now for the future
our
to
generation
be good
is
for us?
always feeling it. I was saying this when we were
you're one of those
pre-production. I think we really like the millennials. Our group just gets hit with everything, and a lot of things are still out of our control. Like, you know, baby boomers and Gen X. Is it Gen X? Yeah. They haven't aged out yet. Like, they're living longer. They hold a lot of position of power. Gen Z's coming up and they're trying to insert themselves and have a perspective and opinion. And so they've created their own thing. But us, we're still, I feel like we get pushed like around. Like we like a ball in a pool. Like it's just like this whole this time we're in, this inflation season, as difficult as it is, I feel like our whole upbringing is marked by difficulty. Like we have not been the same since Y2K, and I'm blaming y'all. I'm blaming whoever started that.
That's Gigi for everyone listening.
Right.
That is Gigi. If you want to know her real name, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I agree, and to piggyback on that, Gigi and I were having a conversation because we do talk outside of this, guys. Just about a video that I was watching. It was literally about like the bank accounts that you should have at this age. Being a millennial, you know, information overload is upon us always. And in that video, they were talking about how the recession, I believe Gigi might have brought it back to my memory, 2008. That was one of the more tumultuous times financially, economically, and the closest things that millennials have experienced to that is the pandemic. And in that same video, they were kind of equating or calling out the fact that millennials haven't responded well to the pandemic. We would not have survived well in 2008's recession. And to me, I thought it was a little comical because I was like, they are right. I think that we live in a society, like, just even to touch on the splitting bill conversation, like, how wise are we with our money? Do we understand what really can happen to this world economically, though we don't have control? Do we understand the idea of creating generational wealth and sustaining that? Although we don't come from it, but do we understand its importance moving forward? Like, there's just a lot of things that I've had conversations with my friends about. In totality, just do we really understand the effect that the war is going to have on us? Like, do we understand the severity of those things? And I can be transparent and honest to say that I do see the trickling, kind of that pond effect when you throw the rippling. I see the rippling. Do I understand how far the ripple will go? No. And I think it's my responsibility to then go and figure it out.
I just, and I don't know, maybe I'm just an advocate for our age group or our generation. I do think we do understand the implications. I think we're a generation that has the most access to information. I think we're probably one of the more well-educated generations that are out there. Most people I'm around, they're like multiple degrees, or they've self-taught and multiple hustles, all the things. I just think we are in a position where, as much as we are striving for things like wealth, financial security, the way our society is set up, we are just not being as like successful as older generations. Like millennials don't have, we're like low in home ownership. Our savings, it's trash.
Yeah, it is.
Like, for a lot of us, if we get hit with a bill for $1,000, it's a disaster. We're not getting married as high as we used to. We're not having children as much as we used to. Our mental health illnesses are skyrocketing. And I think, to that video's point, the reason we're not going to handle it well is because a lot of us just be like, oh, well.
So I have a question. No, I mean, yeah,
as long as you wake up with another day,
I have that attitude
life
as
goes
well. Me and Gigi were talking about, so like, let's say, like, if a large group of millennials, and this is not to like discredit or diminish the severity of homelessness at all. It was just, the conversation we're having. I was like, I feel as if millennials went homeless, we would somehow try to throw a brunch. we would like bring your own bottle, bring your own, and the people who can sing, y'all gather up, y'all sing some, like, I feel as if that's the attitude we have in any negative situation, even though, you know, and we're just thankful for like, oh, well, I mean, at least my phone on, like, at least I can call someone, at least I can text someone. But yeah, I understand that. And I do agree, Gigi, definitely to that. But my question, or what I guess I'm trying to articulate is like, everything's out of our control, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you think should be the priorities that we can control?
Ooh.
Especially since we're in such a, everything's happening at the same time for us. What should be our priority right now, especially with the war going on and the inflation, as well as things happening to our community, our Haitian community, with people, you know, trying to come into the US and things like that. Like, what should we be prioritizing then?
As a Haitian millennial, if we want to put that into put the generalization a little bit more tight, when you talk about Haitian millennials, we have a lot to look at and say where to prioritize. It's just, I think it's a lot to just digest, one, and two, to figure out what to prioritize, because once you prioritize, then you got to realize what sort of impact, you know, to have, because I think the priority comes from how much impact it will have. I think if you prioritize one thing, you're like, okay, because me prioritizing this, my involvement will have more impact than prioritizing such. So it's a tough answer. I don't know. Like, I don't.
And there's no right or wrong answer, you know.
Yeah.
And I definitely want the viewers to, you know, add, you know.
Now that you have our number.
Yes, let us know.
Yeah, now that you have our number,
text
numéro,
us.
yelem, text me, whatever. But again, it's just a conversation, you know.
Un bon numéro encore, 305 306 1578.
But Gigi, you were gonna say.
That's a really great question, and I'm gonna probably keep processing. I am gonna process that even after we're done recording. But for me, and maybe this helps somebody who's listening. I think as millennials, we as a group, Haitian millennials specifically, I think we are trying really hard to be successful. I think we try really hard to not be defined by like stereotypes and certain images, especially being Haitian. But I think in that like quest, like that constant push, we are burning ourselves out. To Mark's point, like, I think a lot of us have a hard time saying no. I feel like if we don't think we're doing multiple things or have multiple things going on, then we're not really utilizing our time properly. And so I would say, in the midst of everything that's going on and all the craziness, I would say prioritize rest. I'm not saying be lazy. I'm not saying do nothing, but like, if you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually are not well, it doesn't matter how much wealth you garner, how much critical acclaim you have, you will.
You're gonna hit a wall.
You're gonna hit a wall, and I don't want to make it too serious, but you know, people are struggling. Not because they're not being successful, not because they're not thriving, not because they're not getting the bag. It's because inside they feel awful. And I would say if you can prioritize rest.
That's a good point. That kind of brings me to something that I want to talk about. I know we're getting into current, but also this is something that could really get us into the conversation of how we're moving currently in the space of a Haitian millennial. So here's a post actually by Haitians Who Blog. Shout out to Haitian Who Blog. They posted this, and this was a post by Leo Jean-Louis. He said, as a first generation Haitian American, there are palpable pressure. Am I saying the word right?
Yes.
I feel every day to succeed, especially financially. Not because the pressure is placed on me by others, but I know what my parents did to get me to America.
Yes.
Yeah.
They worked too hard and sacrificed too much for me to be mediocre. And of course,
we need a moment of silence just for that. I just need a second.
Right.
No. To your what you read, Mark. What I was saying was I heard something similar to that, and what I heard similarly to that was my parents, or I'm not gonna work out the mud because my children are gonna get to plant in a fresh field. You know, it's like. I understand, like the woman who commented, it's like, I understand getting it out the mud. I understand the severity and the strength and the perseverance in that. But once the field is here and it's healthy, why should I then go find mud to create this new thing? It's like reinventing the wheel. It's like, let's thrive in the area that's already healthy and growing. Let's build upon that. And I think that's something that creates a trope for us. And I know, Gigi, you're probably going to speak more to this. It's like, that's what creates the trope for us. Like, we constantly have to go back to the mud mentality because that's the only way we receive respect and honor and recognition. Like, if you don't get it from here, then you never got it to begin with.
Yeah. We got to move away from that. We got to move away from that. Yeah, struggle becomes an identity.
Yeah.
And they can also become an idol. Because if you can never just say, I'm successful and then I'm building upon my success, then you really aren't thriving. I do see that, like, especially amongst Black people, but Haitian people, like, we have this very much like, it's always somebody's disrespecting me. I have malhonnête against me, jalousie against me, drama. I'm like, no.
Everything's always against you.
Everything's always, and sometimes I'm like, no, can we just be like.
And if we're not trying to be PC, I'm going to build na mudam la.
Right.
And I know sometimes that's real, right? Sometimes there really are people that are like, you know,
conniving
and haters and all this other stuff. But like, why do we give them all this power?
That's what I said just even before, like,
even in church we give them so much power. That's pretty much what it is.
Even
sometimes we go to church just to remove them and give them more power.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Everybody méchant, no?
You're not doing it right if you don't have haters. You're not doing it right if you don't have haters. Let's keep that up. Let's keep that. But even to Mark's point when Gigi was saying, let the people who want to help you water that field and grass be a part of it. Like, it's mutual. Mutuality is so important in the millennial's life. It's insane because when you live a life of give, and you are surrounded by take, that will create a mindset for you that becomes selfish. It's like you then become a person that you weren't even supposed to be because you yourself are so giving. Now you become tight-fisted in so many areas of your life and that is something that even can breed in your relationships romantically. When you have children, you're tight-fisted, and it's just something that you really have to understand what your environment around you can do. And if you want to have a get it out the mud mentality, hey, so be it. But I want to let you know that the other people who are sitting in a cabana on the field, like, the mindset's just going to be different.
There's not a single hashtag that has helped Haiti yet.
Oh, amen. I did have lived there.
Nobody can tell me what hashtag has helped Haiti.
You t'as jeune compé au Caribbean, t'as jeune longtemps.
And another thing, I'm sick and tired of people DMing me, yo, you need to post this so you can bring awareness. People don't know that we in a messed up situation. They don't see it online, Shade Room, CNN. It's not just us.
Right.
Everybody see it. So why do I need to post it to bring awareness to 10,000 Haitians under the bridge? I don't want to post that. No. I'm tired of embarrassing myself.
Right.
I'm tired of embarrassing us.
Right.
I don't want self-pity. I want to fix us by ourselves.
Yo, listen, man. Listen. We just played a clip. So this clip was of Success Jr. on Sigil's platform. He has a platform. Let's just be cognizant and say the right name of it. It's Sigil Space. So pretty much he talks to Haitian creatives, or I don't know the exact type of Haitians he sits with, but they're mostly media personality, artists, comedians, people who are influencers, or people who have an impact in the Haitian community in general. He sits with them, and it's almost like a therapy session. So he asks them questions. He gets deep about their upbringing, gets also deep about how they feel about certain things happening, and it's very insightful. So round of applause to Sergio, of course, for doing what he does. But this clip stood out to us because not only have we kind of been talking a little bit about internal affair, right? It kind of feels like that's where success was going with it. And success sound very, and you could tell when a Haitian really cares. Like it's hard, and this is why I'm gonna really try to trend this hashtag, man. Like our generation cares, yo. Like we care in a deeper level than just the fact of Haiti is a country that we came from. It's more like we've experienced as millennials, we've experienced what the news and what broadcasting, how we look bad and all these things. We've experienced what that does to us
in so many ways.
Yeah, in real life, in real time. Like we literally go in schools after hearing the headlines about Haiti, and we have to face that. We have to literally walk in that room with that. So I can see why Success Junior is so passionate about it. It's like you asking me to post about what's going on in Haiti or under the bridge. This is referring to our Haitian people that was under the bridge in Texas, based on their journey. So as a comedian, a Haitian comedian, people feel like he should have been talking and bringing awareness to it. And to him, it's like, oh, you don't know? You haven't watched the news?
You got to know. That's why you're bringing it to me.
Why? Yeah. Why am I bringing awareness to something that makes us look bad? And he's like, I'm tired of us looking bad. It's like we have to kind of like do it internally or work on it on our own. That's the only way that this is gonna stop.
Yeah,
not awareness.
It's a mindset we have to break out of, because Haitian people will talk about how like our culture is overlooked. We have a bunch of negative stereotypes associated with us. We're not seen like how other cultures are seen. Yet if you go on any popular Haitian platform, they like post an abundance amount of information about what goes on in terms of like politics and social issues and things that are going on with Haitian people. Now, if you are a political platform, if you are a news platform, if the whole purpose of your platform is for awareness, then yes, that is your job. Please inform us, keep us in the know.
Yeah.
What I think is strange is this idea that if you are a comedian, a podcaster, singer, dancer, whatever you do, then you also need to be sharing that content.
Yeah.
It is, to me, it's honestly strange because, you know, if for example, if Success did decide to post about it, I'd be like, okay, cool. But I would not go to his page with that expectation. I'm here to see Mama Junior.
Yeah.
Here to see some of the chips.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to see the lighthearted parts of what Haitian culture is.
Yes.
And not to discredit or disregard the severity of what's happening, but we also have to find the beautiful things as a part of that country as well.
And also know your role too.
Yeah.
Like if you decide to do it, that's because you decide to, not because you obligated to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know where to find this information, and the people that are in charge of putting out this information, put it out.
Yeah.
And they bring awareness. And it's also like, of course, if there was a group that said we need to gather these people to bring awareness, it doesn't necessarily have to be from his page. Also, he could have been bringing awareness somewhere else or outside of the page, on social media, doing what he needs to do off of that. And it doesn't have to reflect that of social media, because again, we're going back to the branding stage. If that's the brand and that's what he's pushing, it's not saying he's just undermining everything or whatever else is happening. It's just, this is his brand. And at the end of the day, it's also a business. And I think, you know, the average person doesn't understand the business structure. Sometimes you just gotta, I don't want to say ignore it, but sometimes you just gotta take it for what it is. The person's gonna feel how they feel, because the comment area is public. The comment area is open. So the people are gonna say what they want to say, especially our people. They're always gonna voice how they feel you should be doing something. So it's not ever to take it personal, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to take it personal, so then they can feel like they've inputted some sort of input into your life. So it's always like, okay, I see you and I hear you, but I appreciate it, but it's not my my current focus. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So it is important to
be mindful.
Be mindful of the people. And if you're in the comment section, man, I know it's not normally, I don't want to bash any other generation, but it's not really us that be under the comments doing these things. It's usually the generation that was raised off of social media. So not to them, social media is the outlet to just say whatever they feel, because they do that anyway.
That's true.
Right.
It's almost like if you ever go to your one of your family's house, the conversation that's happening about Brazil soccer politics, it's always somebody saying their opinion, whether it's true or not. It's always going to be like, oh, and then they really start standing behind it. And it's really very scary to see that these conversations happen and they get invested.
And you know what else that you brought that up? Like, I remember a time, and I know we've unpacked a lot today, guys. We have. When I was young, as a millennial now, I remember my parents, or Haitians specifically, protected me from certain information. As far as whatever might have been going on, turmoil, whatnot, in the Haitian culture, they protected me from certain things because they wanted me to fully embrace the goodness of who I am as a Haitian. And sometimes that identity piece can get a little blurred when something is constantly, like Success said, it's embarrassing. And I don't think that we should live in that. We should obviously, like Gigi mentioned, like remain aware, go to those platforms, inform ourselves. But we also have to stand in confidence of who we are and be bold about it too, and accepting, hey, I'm Haitian. This is who I am. This is what comes with it. But I want to move in a different positive direction moving forward and be as helpful as I can. So I definitely do that for myself. And I just hope that for anybody else who is Haitian or has a support for the Haitian community as well.
Any thoughts?
I know I'm good. I want to shout out Success for being, I think that was really brave of him to say what he wanted to say, because I do see people recognize that he is extremely popular. He has a huge following. He has influence. So I can kind of see the idea that, like, if he speaks on certain things, then something could happen. But I think I think everyone just needs to take a step back and really ask yourself, like, are you just wanting awareness, or do you want action? And I've had we've had conversations about this. Like, I kind of get frustrated when I see something happens and it's on the news, and then everyone gets all like riled up, right? And there's a lot of conversation, discussion, and argument and all this other stuff. But I'm like, there are people who can literally go out and do things. Like with the whole border crisis, there were Haitian lawyers, Haitian immigration specialists, Haitian social workers, Haitian medical professionals, I can go down the list, that actually physically got up and went over to Texas.
Yeah. And shout out to Neon, National Haitian Elected Official Network. That's a handful, a mouthful, I should say. But they were actually, their organization is set up for that. When crisis happened, they send the word out to the right elected officials or the area for that city and get Haitians on the move to help our people. So there's stuff that goes
let's
out.
Let's back organizations like that.
Yeah.
Like if we start to give more attention to success for the border crisis,
then it doesn't get resolved. It just get aware. And again, back to his point, what hashtag has really helped us besides make us look more let me not dive into that. So we've had a great 20, episode 21.
We very mature 21.
We are very mature. That was I never had a
It wasn't intentional, but
do you know what that means?
We got in there.
22 we gotta be.
Oh,
we gotta be a little fun.
Yeah.
We gotta be fun? Oh God. Okay, we're gonna try to do that.
Yeah, like Taylor Swift said.
What she said?
She said that she's feeling 22.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
Okay. I see what you were trying to do there, but
Taylor, no sad Kanye.
Taylor Paisian.
We're with Kanye on this one. No, I'm just kidding.
Taylor Paisian.
We're with Kanye on this one. He went to Haiti.
He did, didn't he?
Now watching the documentary, you saw him in Dominican Republic.
Yes.
That was probably the same time he was. Oh, you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
There was a part where he's in Dominican Republic. doing some stuff, and I think that was around the same time he probably
went
was
to
in Haiti,
Haiti.
because he's now maybe he was trying to do Sunday service over there. Maybe he was trying to find land.
Sunday service in
Dude,
Haiti?
Maybe.
Oh.
Or maybe he was trying to find land to build. Based on the doc, he was probably looking for a place to really manufacture his clothing, because he moved.
I don't like that.
He moved into Wyoming. He moved into Wyoming.
No, but
during that time, but he probably was looking in Haiti to see if they could get it done over there.
That is true, because he kept saying about how Black people need to be able to like produce from themselves. Remember, he had that whole thing.
Yeah. He was going on, man.
I
Haiti
guess
could have been the place.
I guess now for 22, I might have to watch.
The only
before
person
that
that could tell us what happened was Jovenel, but.
Who?
What?
Jovenel Moise.
Oh,
he was
my
going to be the one.
Lord.
Because he was the one talking to Kanye.
Wow.
He was the one talking to Kanye.
This is the pod. We love y'all. We love y'all. Okay.
Before we go, we was talking about a little bit about the adulting process. This is what season 2 is all about.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get more into that. The next chapter is actually the words that, some things that we keep taboo in our culture, which is sex, right? So the next chapter is that. So we're gonna find a way to involve you guys. Since you guys have our number, we're also gonna have
it's the plug every time.
Yeah. So and we're also gonna try to get you guys involved in a group pod. I'm not promising.
You talking about Clubhouse type stuff?
We have to figure it out. It might be Zoom.
Don't hold us to that, y'all.
Don't ever hold us to anything we don't actually like show you.
Yeah, until we tell you, until you see the actual announcement. Out there. Don't hold on to it.
I want y'all to know podding sessions are also brainstorming sessions for us as well.
Yeah, we just talking to you. It's a conversation.
We're talking. Yeah, that's just how it is. So we're planning to have that conversation. So we did a poll on IG. A lot of you guys wanted to talk about sex in general and how we don't talk about it, but then we're expected to know how to be protected against it, against the things that come from sex, like pregnancy and all that stuff. So it's a conversation to get deeper into, to figure out sex education in the Haitian household. We're not going to talk about when we lost her. We had that conversation.
Wrong turn.
Yeah, we definitely had a wrong turn on that one. We're not going to go into sex in that route. We're going to go into just
sex education.
Just if you just were expecting a little bit of more, everybody who's trying to go in Gigi and Leona's DM, if you were expecting a little bit of that, I just hate to disappoint you, brother. We're not going to go there. But we are going to tackle that conversation. And then after that, our last chapter for season 2 is going to be religion. How we actually were raised, how did religion find us, or how did we find religion? And how did it impact us within that adulthood process and where we're at with it now. So it's 2 big topics, and we just got to figure out a way to make that as impactful as the ones we had previously, which is the dating aspect, which is the college aspect, the parental aspect. And it seems like parents have a forefront in all this discussion. So I just want to apologize for any parents that are listening to this. As a millennial, we are and have been impacted by the decision made by our parents. So it's a lot of parenting going on.
It's the circle of life.
And it also helps us understand how we should be parents when we decide to be parents. And those of you that are parents currently, how do you handle sex conversations? So anyway, this big conversation that's going to happen inclusively. We also want to have mothers, fathers, millennials who are currently parents. We would love to have you. So if you're one of those, text, I'm a parent right now. No, I'm just kidding. But just hit us up though. Let us know if you'd like to participate in that conversation. We did the poll on IG, but if you're not on IG and you only listen to this podcast, text us. You just got the number. Text us, say, I would like to be part of the future conversations, and then we'll have you locked in and we'll tell you all the details on how that goes. And it's not going to be a public platform conversation. It's going to be with us. And of course, we will release it as a podcast, but you will have the luxury of being open and whatever you would like with us, and you decide if that's something you want to put out there, and we'll have that discussion. But anyway, it's all inclusive. We want to make sure we bring you guys in on the conversation, sitting right next to us as Haitian Millennials on the HMP platform. And with that said, I'm Mark the Dreamer.
I'm Gigi the Realist.
It's your girl Leona.
And we are out of here.
Bye.
Don't worry. We can't go like this. It's too quiet. We gotta go a little, you know what I'm saying? Can we do the left and the right again? Hey. Hold on. Pause bagala. Don't wait. Hold on. Hey. We can do it. We're a unit, right? Okay. Merci, Baba. Lupini. This was episode 21. See you guys on episode 22 and more. We love you.